Hi everybody, this is CADroll Hunter, and today we're going to look at everything you need to know about coin roll hunting. This is Coin Roll Hunting 101, the ultimate beginner's guide. Hi everybody, this is James, and you're watching my channel CADroll Hunter. Thanks so much for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about everything there is to know about coin roll hunting so you can do successful coin roll hunts. If you're like me, you've probably seen lots of videos online where people are doing coin roll hunting, but you might have some questions on how to actually do it, how to get coins, all of these things that are pretty helpful to know if you actually want to do this. So that's what we're going to look at in today's video, everything you need to know about coin roll hunting. So here are all the things that we're going to look at today. First of all, what exactly is coin roll hunting? I think you probably have a basic idea and understanding of what it is, but we're going to talk a little bit more about it, what exactly it is that you're doing, what you're looking for, and how that works. Number two, we're going to ask a really important question that people ask: how do I get coins to hunt? And another question by extension is, how do I get so many coins to hunt? We'll deal with that. Number three, we're going to look at, how do I know what to look for? There are some things that you need to know if you're going to be looking for something, like what to look for. We're going to talk about that. The next thing we'll talk about is, what is the ideal setup for coin roll hunting? You want to set up a space that you can use for coin roll hunting. We'll talk about the things you'll want to do to make sure that your hunts are successful. The other thing we'll talk about are, what are the tools that you need so that you can find the things that you're looking for. There are some essentials you're going to want to have if you're going to want to do coin roll hunting on a regular basis. Once you've found coins, you're going to need to know, how do I protect and store the coins that I found? So we'll talk about that. And lastly, what do you do with all of the coins that are left over? How do you get rid of them? We'll talk about that too. So stay tuned. We're going to deal with all of this. So let's dive in. So to get started, what exactly is coin roll hunting? Well, coin roll hunting is just the way it sounds. It's looking through rolls of coins and hunting them to try to find interesting things. So what are we looking for usually when we're coin roll hunting? People are usually looking for rare or valuable coins, coins that have a really low mintage, so there's not very many of them out there, errors, varieties, interesting coins, foreign coins. They're all out there to be found. You just have to find them. Many of you probably look through your pocket change and you might find something interesting, but because you're dealing with such a small sample size, the chances of finding something interesting is pretty low, or you're not going to find it very often. So what coin roll hunting does is raises the odds and the likelihood that you're going to find something more quickly by looking at large volumes of coins. Coin roll hunting is also a pretty cost-effective way to collect coins. And what I mean by that is that you buy coins at their face value. So every penny you get costs you 1 cent. Every quarter, 25 cents. If you find something valuable, you've made a pretty decent return. So rather than going to the coin shop and spending $10 or $20 on a coin, many of them are just floating out there in circulation. And that's really what's behind coin roll hunting. It's finding something valuable that's just out in circulation. And it only costs you the coins you keep. So if I hunt through a $500 box of quarters, 50 rolls of 40 quarters each, it cost me $500 to buy that. But if I only keep 2 quarters, the hunt only cost me 50 cents and I can return the rest. And we'll talk about that later too. So essentially, coin roll hunting involves going to the bank and buying coins, exchanging money for coins, and asking for lots of them probably, so that you can actually find interesting and valuable things in there. This leads to the next question, of course, which is, how do I get coins? And this one is pretty straightforward. You just need to go to the bank and buy them or ask for them. So how do you do that? If you've seen videos online, you've seen that people will actually often hunt a whole box of quarters or a whole box of pennies. So usually 50 rolls at a time in most denominations. And so many of you ask, how do I get so many coins? And the answer simply is, just ask. The bank will sell them to you for sure. And ask for as many or as little as you want. All they can do is say yes or no. So give them an opportunity. So I was a little nervous when I started by saying, hi, could I get a whole box of coins? I didn't even think that was something you could do, but you can, trust me. So there are a few things to know or will be helpful when you're going to the bank to get coins. First of all is you should probably have an account at the bank. Chances are you can go to any bank and ask for a roll of quarters and give them $10 and they'll give you a roll of quarters, even if you don't have an account. Most banks will do that. But if you're going to be asking for lots of coins and regularly, you should definitely have an account. The banks that I go to, as soon as I come up to the teller, they want me to take my bank card and swipe it so they can see who I am. If you have an account, you don't have to go through the awkward thing of saying, well, I don't actually have an account here, but I'd like to get some coins. Another important thing to know is that banks are often reserving the coins they have for their customers. So if you have an account, there's a much better chance that you can get it. One question that people ask is, do I have to have a business account to get coins from the bank? And the answer is no, you don't. So some banks are trying to preserve coins for their business customers. And so some branches or some banks might insist or might prefer that you have a business account, but it is not necessary. So find a bank that will let you buy coins without necessarily having a business account. But you can usually get a bank account that has no fees and you can get coins. So the next thing to do is just ask for however many you want. I asked for a box the very first time for 50 rolls to hunt, and they actually said yes. Sometimes they'll say no if they just don't have them. We've had a coin shortage in the last number of years for sure, but just ask for what you want. All they can do is say no, but chances are they're going to say yes. So there are a couple of things to think about when you're getting coins from the bank. First of all, you want to make sure you're getting circulated coins. Circulated coins just means that these are coins from various years that have been out in circulation for some point in time. That's where you're going to find varieties and different dates, interesting things. But the bank might also give you uncirculated coins. And what that means is that they're all brand new coins, sealed up right from the mint, meaning every single coin in that box or that roll is going to be identical. And that's not going to make for a fun hunt. You really want circulated coins. Unless, of course, you are looking for any errors in new coins that haven't been discovered yet. And some collectors like to do that. So looking through a whole box of 2022s to see if they can find something interesting that is unexpected, an error of some sort. There are people who like to do that. But that could be a boring hunt for most of us. So circulated coins is what you're looking for. Now, when you get your coins from the bank, you might be getting customer wrapped rolls, or you might be getting bank wrapped rolls. And depending on where you are looking and where you're situated in the world, you might want one versus the other. In Canada, I particularly want to find customer wrapped rolls. That's where I'm going to find all sorts of interesting things. I try to avoid bank wrapped rolls because in Canada, the Mint has an alloy recovery program, which is essentially as banks receive coins from customers, they filter out all of the old coins, all of the precious alloys, all of the silver, and so we might only find just modern years and maybe no real varieties, nothing really of interest. So I'm looking for what customers might bring back. If you're in the States, you might want to avoid customer wrapped rolls because they could have been searched already, potentially, and that's the peril of it here in Canada for me too. But bank wrapped rolls usually have been dumped into a machine and wrapped by a machine, and so no human eyes have searched through them necessarily. So there's a better chance with bank wrapped rolls of finding unexpected and interesting things. Now, you don't have to hunt a whole box like you see on the videos on YouTube necessarily. You can just start with 5 rolls or 10 rolls, 20 rolls, whatever you want to see what you can find. And that's probably a good way to get started. And something to think about when you're getting started is, what do you want to collect? You don't have to collect everything. So as a beginner, I would suggest pick one denomination and go from there. So in the States, pennies is a great option. It's only $25 if you want to get a box of 50 rolls. In Canada, nickels are a great bet. You can find lots of older nickels and it doesn't cost you much. It's not a big upfront investment to get some rolls of nickels. They're only $2 each per roll, or even just $100 for a box if you can get your hands on a box. So starting there is a really great way to just ease into the hobby. Now that you've got the coins to hunt, it's really important to know, what am I looking for? If you're looking for errors or varieties or low mintage, interesting coins, you need to have some resources to have an idea, what should you be looking for? What is valuable? What is rare? Here are a couple of resources that I recommend. If you're hunting in the States, the United States Red Book is a must-have. This is going to list all of the different denominations, all of the major varieties. It will give you a sense of what is low mintage or rare and their values. Now remember, this is printed once a year, so the values are based on when the book was printed, but they're a really good idea. You might see if a coin is worth 5 cents or $500. That's a good hint right there. If you're in Canada, I highly recommend the Charlton Guide to Canadian Coins. This is a great resource. It's very much like the Red Book. It's going to tell you about all of the major varieties, the mintages, and also price guides as well. So I highly recommend these. You can get these at any local coin store. You can get these at any bookshop. You can buy them online. But if you don't want to make an upfront investment, you don't necessarily need to buy these. There are lots of great resources available online. Some of the resources online that I highly recommend, if you're hunting Canadian coins, the coinsincanada.com website is a great resource. I'll put links to all of these in the video description so that you can find these easily. That website is going to give you great pictures so you can see what you're looking for. It gives you an idea of the different errors and varieties that you might find. That's a great place to start. If you're in the States, I would look at Variety Vista. You're going to find most of the major varieties, double dies, repunched mint marks, things like that. That's what you'll want to find as well. So those are two great resources. If you're looking at international coins, or if you find a foreign coin in your hunts, which is always lots of fun, by the way, the numista.com website is a great resource. It has listings for most of the coins in the world. The other great thing about Numista is you can create a free account and you can actually use it to catalog all of your coins, which is great. You can actually access it on your phone, so you can see what you have and what you don't have. I use it personally. I highly recommend it. It doesn't cost you anything. There is a premium membership that you can have, but you don't need it. So those are some great resources to start with. Another thing you might consider, and I do this, I will admit to it, is create a cheat sheet. So when I'm hunting nickels, for instance, I actually have a cheat sheet that tells me what it is that I'm looking for. It's really hard to remember absolutely everything, and I look at a lot of different denominations and different coins from different countries. It can be hard to keep it all straight. So you can use a piece of paper, you can write it down. I have a spreadsheet, and when I hunt coins, I usually hunt at my desk. And so I've got the spreadsheet open so I can see what years, different varieties I'm looking for so that I can keep it all straight and I don't miss anything. And you don't want to miss anything either. So I highly recommend that. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to memorize it all. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, it would be really great if you give it a like. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do that. I would appreciate it immensely. So now that you've got your coins and you know exactly what you're looking for, let's talk about your setup. You're going to want to have a clear, clean space to hunt your coins. A table or a desk is perfect, but there are a few other things you're going to want to think about. First of all, a good coin roll hunting mat is a must. And why that is because coins are heavy and they're dirty and they will scratch up your desk or table, and you don't really want that. Particularly if you think you're going to be hunting a lot of coins. It's really easy and quick that you'll get wear on that surface. So a good coin roll hunting mat is great. You don't have to necessarily buy one. You can use something from around the house. You could use the back of a binder, anything you want. But there are some that you can buy. If you've seen coin roll hunts on YouTube, you've seen that some more prominent channels like Rob Finds Treasure or Quinn's Coins, they sell their own coin roll hunting mats. That's a good option. I'll show you what I use. I just use a cutting mat from a craft store, and that works perfectly great for me. We'll look at that. But why don't we look at the rest of my setup? So here is my desk. If you've seen my videos, you know this is where I do all of my coin roll hunting. This is where I film all of my videos, where I search my rolls on camera and off camera. All happens right here. So let's look at a few of the elements of this setup that I highly recommend. So first of all, you can see that I've got this coin roll hunting mat. And if we take a little bit of a closer look, this is just a cutting mat that I got from a craft store. It's very durable. It's got a nice smooth surface on it. It's perfect for what I need it for, and it didn't cost me much money at all. If you want a coin roll hunting mat from a Coin Roll Hunter, that's great too, because it often has a cheat sheet. So the things to look for, you can see that on my computer at the very left here, you might notice this on some of my videos, this is my cheat sheet. This is my nickel hunt cheat sheet. It's just the things that I'm looking for, 1962 double date, any errors or varieties in particular that I'm looking for. Another thing that's really important is lighting. Now, the room that I do my hunts in has some windows and I get some natural light at different times of the day if it's sunny out and different times of the year. And it depends on the time of day I'm doing a hunt, if it's light or dark out. So I want to make sure I've got good overhead lighting, but I highly recommend having good task lighting. You'll see I have a couple of lamps here that give me good light on my surface so I can see exactly what I'm doing. That's really, really important. I've also got some equipment, some tools that I highly recommend, and we'll talk about each of these and why they might be important. Now, first of all, if you're just filling an album and you're looking for different dates and mint marks, you might not need any special equipment at all. If your eyes are good enough to see the coins well without any additional tools or magnification, then you're good to go. Now, if your eyes are getting old like mine, at a minimum, you might want some reading glasses. That's probably helpful. I use them for all of my hunts these days. But a couple of things that I highly suggest you get anyhow is a jeweler's loupe. So the very first thing that you might want is a jeweler's loupe. This is going to give you really good magnification to see the details of your coins. You can see how well that works. You'd probably hold this right up to your eye and hold the coin up close. And so you want a good jeweler's loupe. This one that I have here has some lighting, different settings, so bright light and a blue light that you can see, so that's helpful. They come in different magnifications, so find one that works for you, but they're not very expensive. You can buy these again in any coin shop. You can buy them at any hobby store too, as well as online for sure. So that's something you want to have. If you're looking at getting into more errors and varieties, then you're probably going to want something a little more hardcore than just the jeweler's loupe. And so one of the things I highly recommend is a USB microscope. And this is the one that I use. It's the pluggable. I'll put a link to some of these products in the description so you can find them online if you're interested in any of them. If you've seen my videos, you see I use this all the time. Because I'm doing my hunts at my computer, this USB microscope plugs right into my computer and I can get a large screen close-up view of anything. And as you know, coins are small, they're hard to see, and some errors and varieties you just can't see with the naked eye. So this is a 1962 Canadian nickel, a great example. There is a variety that we want to look for. It's the 1962 double date. And with my naked eye, I can't see this. Even with my reading glasses, I can't quite tell if this is the double date or not. But if I put it under my microscope and I can look at that date close up, I can see the marker for the double date. And of course, on this one, it's a little hard to see if I get nice and close up, but this line under the 2 is what we're looking for on the double date. But I wouldn't be able to see that with the naked eye, so I highly recommend getting a USB microscope. So there are a few really great features of this USB microscope, why I like it so much, and there are others that do very similar things, so you don't necessarily need to get this particular one. But for one thing, it is fully adjustable. It's got like a gooseneck here, so I can raise it, I can lower it. It just goes on this little pad here with a suction cup. That's helpful. I can focus here manually, and it has a USB light that I can turn up or down, and you can see the effect on my image as the lighting is adjusted. So that's really cool. So if you need some extra task lighting, that's good. This one, I can also take pictures and videos just by clicking this button on the top. Actually, just tapping on it is all I need to do. And so here it is on screen. You can see that close-up view. And if I want to see any of the pictures that I've taken, just double click it. And here is a attached 6 that I had in a previous hunt. You've probably seen that. So that's great. You can get really good close-ups of some of the errors and varieties. So I highly recommend getting a digital microscope. Coins are small and they're really hard to see the finer details. Some things you just can't see with the naked eye. So this is really helpful. I also have this magnification lamp. So if I want, I can also just look here and just, if I don't necessarily need to put it under the scope, I can get a closer look here. So that's helpful too. And it just attaches right to my desk, which is really cool. Another must-have tool, or highly recommended anyhow, is a digital scale. So there are some varieties that you want to check for. You can only tell the difference between varieties from the weight. So for instance, I've got a 1982 US cent here. It's a Denver minted one. And if I want to know if this is copper or zinc, because this is a transitional year, the only way for me to really reliably know is to put it on the scale. So I'm going to put it on the scale here, and we're going to see the difference between copper and zinc. If it's zinc, it's probably going to be about 2.5 grams. If it's copper, it's going to weigh about 3.1, over 3 anyhow. So I'm going to put it on here, we'll see. And that's 3.03, and that's well within the tolerance, but I know for certain that this is a bronze or copper cent and not a zinc cent. So this is a really important tool. Something to note, this one is in grams. I highly recommend that you have a scale that can put it in grams. If you're using ounces, that's not really going to work well for coins because coins are small and the variations between the sizes is pretty small too. So get it in grams. And this one has the units go down to the 100th of a gram, so you can really see the differences. So that's great. I've got another penny here. This one I know is a zinc cent, but we should see it's going to be about 2.5 grams. And there you go. So that's an important tool. I highly recommend you get one. They're not very expensive. Another must-have tool, if you're going to be searching for different varieties, is a magnet. Particularly in Canada, 1968 was a transition year in coins. So some of the coins were minted in nickel, which is magnetic, and some were minted in silver, which is not. And so the best, most reliable way to distinguish the difference between them is to use a magnet. So this is a screwdriver with a magnet that I got from another fellow YouTuber, Walker Magnet. And so it has a magnet at the end. So this is a silver coin right here, a 1962 Canadian dime, not magnetic. So I know for sure that is silver. If that was a 68, I would need to use the magnet to know for sure. And here is a modern Canadian nickel that has a steel core. If it was nickel, it would also be magnetic. And you can see it is magnetic for sure. So highly recommend getting a magnet. You'll want to find one that is soft. I've put a rubber tip on this so that it doesn't damage or scratch my coins. You don't want anything that's too powerful that could damage the coin. Another thing that you might want too is some coin roll hunting gloves. These are cotton gloves. I particularly wear these if I'm searching through coins that I think are highly valuable or are in excellent, pristine condition. Coin roll hunting is actually a pretty dirty hobby. Coins are often dirty. So gloves are helpful if you want to keep your hands clean or if you want to keep your coins from getting damaged and prevent them from getting grease and oils from your hands on there. Oh, I almost forgot about the coffee. Optional, but highly recommended. So now that you've found all sorts of fantastic coins out there, you're going to need to find a way to store them, to protect them and preserve them, as well a way to enjoy them. You'll want to display them some way or another. So we'll look at what I do and some ways that other people store coins, depending on what you're looking for and how you're collecting. One of the most common ways to protect and store your coins are in these 2x2 flips. These have been around forever. I find these are great. I use them all the time. They're great because I can write on them. I can put any errors or varieties that I've noticed on there so I don't forget. I know exactly what I'm looking at. They're really cheap. You can buy a whole lot of them for not a whole lot of money. This is what they look like before you use them. And you just fold it over and staple it closed. So you're going to want to get a good stapler to go through the cardboard. I use this swing line here because it actually staples flat. So if the staples aren't folded down flat on the underside, they can catch on the pages. But once you've put them in these flips, you can store them in boxes, or you can do what I do, which is to store them in coin albums. So I have them just in binders, in these protective sheets, which I can get at a local coin store, I can buy online, and I can see all of the coins that I have in my collection this way. This is a great way for me to be able to look at and display my coins. So if I want to see what I've got, I can just open up the binder and look through everything, and that's a great way to store and protect them. Another option you could use is a coin album or coin binder. So if you watch my channel, this one will look familiar. This is our Lighthouse Vista coin album. And so if we open it up, it's got slots where we can put coins in with this protective plastic that will just peel back. I can put my coin in there and you can put it in there. These are heavy duty. These are more expensive, of course, but this is a great and a beautiful way to store and display your coins. But you don't have to go fancy or spend a lot of money. This is an old Whitman coin folder. And if I just open it up, it's got spots for me to put my coins in. It mentions the mintages. My local coin shop gives these away for free, particularly these older ones. I think as they buy collections, they just empty them out of these old folders, and they're not always in great shape necessarily, but you can get these. They still make them brand new if you want them, but these are much cheaper than a big album like this one here. Another option for preserving your coins would be sending them into a grading company and having them slabbed. They're basically put in these sealed capsules, so they're protected from the environment, and they're protected from getting scratches. I only really recommend this approach if you are dealing with very high grade and very valuable coins. Otherwise, your 2x2 flip is perfectly fine for storing normal everyday coins. Another way to preserve your coins would be in these capsules. So I collect all the colored quarters. I don't want to put them all in flips. I don't put them all in binders. So if I've got multiples, I just put them in these tubes. Here's another one where I'm collecting some 80% Canadian silver. So there's different kinds of tubes you can use, but that's a great way to store your coins more in a bulk way than individually displayed. Regardless of how you store your coins, a really important consideration is that you store them in proper conditions. So you want to keep a constant temperature, not too hot and not too cold. You want to avoid fluctuations, and you want to make sure that it's not subject to humidity. Those will wreck your coins for sure. You'll get spots on the coins. They'll start to tarnish. They'll start to tone, and not in a good way. People like toning, but you don't want bad toning. You don't want environmental damage. So you want to make sure you've got a cool, dry, safe place for your coins to be stored. So we've covered all the basics, but there's one important thing to talk about left. What are you going to do with all these coins that you've looked through and don't want to keep? Well, the answer is pretty straightforward, and that's just take them back to the bank. This is circulating currency, and the bank will take it. But there are a couple things you want to think about. First of all, I highly recommend that you find a different bank to take your coins back to than the one that you picked them up at, often referred to as a dump bank. Why this is important is because if I bring back a box of nickels like this one back to the bank and I want to get another one next week or tomorrow, there's a really good chance I might be picking up the same group of nickels that I've already gone through. And that's not going to make a fun hunt. I won't find anything at all. So have another bank that you go to where you exclusively drop off coins. And it's always a good idea to have an account with them, because when you bring the coins in, you just say, I want to make a deposit. And they will take the coins and just deposit it into that account. So it's really easy to do. The only time it's not as necessary is if you hunt really infrequently. There's enough turnover in coins. So if I'm going to hunt coins today and I don't think I'm going to come back for 3 months, it's highly unlikely those coins will still be there when I go back. But if you're hunting in volume, like every few days or once a week or something like that, I highly recommend having a different bank to drop your coins off. Now, a couple of other considerations about that you might want to think about. When you bring your coins back to the bank, it's probably a really good idea to have them rolled up. Most banks won't take back loose change. So if you're in Canada, if you're hunting customer wrapped rolls, you can usually just rewrap them in the rolls you got them in. So there's really no issue. If you're in the States, some banks have a coin machine where you can deposit loose coins. In Canada, I don't ever see that. If you are hunting bank wrapped rolls, it's really difficult to reuse those rolls. So they're all sealed up and you have to tear into them. You're gonna need to wrap them up in new rollers. Now you can buy rollers like this at any dollar store. They're not very expensive, but you don't even need to buy coin rollers, because if you go to the bank and ask for them, they'll give them to you absolutely free. I've got a bundle of nickels, I got some dimes. They come in different ways. These ones are already sort of round and just sort of tubed up together, but you can get them for free. So wrap up your coins, take them back to the bank, and you've got money for your next hunt. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, Coin Roll Hunting 101, the ultimate beginner's guide. If you did, please give the video a like, please share it, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, CADroll Hunter, please do that right now. I'd really appreciate it. And then you'll find out when my next videos are coming out. And I have videos coming out all the time on coin roll hunting, coin collecting, paper currency, all sorts of fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.